Hey everybody, Bobby Marr here, and I'm speaking to you on behalf of CFIB. We did a webinar late last fall in November in regards to social media and how to leverage it for your small business. And never got a chance to follow up with some of the other questions that we had, and so I want to do it now and make sure I'm caught up to stuff. So I have the file that I saw that had a ton of questions. What I thought I would do is maybe spend some time answering some of these questions. Now, some of them might be repeats from what we covered in the webinar, and others might be things that kind of overlap. But hopefully, you'll get some value out of this. And I know Darcy and the team will probably upload this somewhere, and you guys can benefit from this. So, my computer's right here. I'm ready to dive in. So let me start off with this question: Twitter. Does anyone really pay attention to the potentially thousands of followers on their feed? The truth is, people, take their phone and they look at it and they, kind of scroll quickly, and whatever shows up in that moment for whether it's 50, 100, or maybe 200 people or tweets, they'll look at it. No one really spends the time trying to make sure they, see every single thing. But the thing is, you want to make sure you're accessible because you never know what might show up. And what's also more important is that when people actually send you replied messages that are particularly directed or targeted at you, you want to make sure you're available and you're accessible to answer those questions. That's what I would say. How can you make Facebook? How can you make this work without just blasting your page and other groups with deals? The trick here is really to understand how Facebook advertising works. There's a lot of questions about Facebook advertising, and I'll put that in now. Understanding how it works and how to target it towards the right people, because ultimately it goes back to who your target is and who you actually want to work with and have as your customer, and you need to target those people. So you have to, if you're going to work on Facebook, honestly, you have to either leverage influencers or your network, or you have to use Facebook advertising. Do we have to have people opt out in the first email? This is referring to Castle. To opt in. Well, there are a lot of rules around Castle and how people are opted in. I mean, if someone gives you their business card, they're actually opting in because they're giving you their business information. If someone adds you on LinkedIn and they have they have a website with a public email address, that's considered okay too. So now that said, if you want to build a really strong subscriber list, having an opt-in is actually really, really great. So I would totally recommend doing that if you want to. Let's see. How can I use social media to attract more customers, make our business easier to find, educate the public on what we do, and answer common questions before the customer approaches us? Wow. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff there. Let me just say briefly, number one for you as a small business to understand who is your target and where they are. So let's say your target, for example, is boomers. Most of them, might not be on Facebook, although a lot of them are. Other people might be on LinkedIn. And also, what type of business you have. Do you have a B2B business, a B2C business? Based on those, and, is your business very visual? Is your business very complex? Is your business very, customer service oriented? Because of that, that would really help. If I knew what that was, then I would help you figure out what's the best way to hone in on the right way to do this. Because every single business is different. I remember when we did the webinar call, there was just so many a variety of businesses. So it made it very, very difficult to do that. So I want to make sure that, it's kind of hard to answer that question here. But, if you have any questions specifically about your business, just call me, 416-838-2526 or 416-979-9213. And I can answer your calls, in 5 minutes and maybe help you out just a little bit. What should we post about to create a buzz? How can we maximize our presence on social media while being cost effective, as it's not always free to post to certain audiences? Yeah. So how do we post to create a buzz? Well, a few things to keep in mind. There's 4 things that get people's attention when it comes to social media. You either entertain them, you either inform them, you either educate them, or you entertain, educate, inform. Oh, I forgot the first one for a second. Inspire. That's it. So if you can create content that does all 4 or 3 of the 4, that becomes much more viral than anything else. You can maximize your presence on social media by really identifying what are the key places you need to be. Now, obviously, I am on like 10 different things. I always recommend you start with 1 or 3, but I think the people who are really engaged are on 5 or 6. Now, that might seem like, oh my God, why would I want to do that? But if we're just starting out, pick the 1 where everyone is, or pick 3, integrate them really, really well. And you want to maximize your presence, by being where your target is. And not where everybody is, but just pick the ones that are important. How can we build our brand followers or likes easily without too much expense on Facebook? I would say that's very difficult. Although if you create viral content and people really get excited about it, you'll build it, but it'll be very, very slow. So I'm not even sure that's worth it. why do you want to build likes? That's the question. I mean, you shouldn't really worry so much about likes on Facebook. You should worry about engagement and get traction to people to, your website as outside of Facebook so that they actually buy your products or services. We have an e-newsletter that will be showcased on our website. Does it need to be emailed out to our mail list as well? Yes. Short answer. Yes. Should we, the company, be interacting with our Facebook followers or just let followers interact amongst each other? You definitely should interact with your followers. I mean, what do you think people like? I mean, do they like that people can talk about, hey, here's why Bell's amazing, or here's why Fido sucks? I mean, yeah, they kind of like that. But they also want to hear from you guys. When Fido or Bell responds, that's actually way better. So I think you need to be able to do that. Is there a program or comment site where we can keep track of or upload to many social media sites at once? Well, it depends how you do it. I mean, for me personally, I use Hootsuite, which attaches me to LinkedIn, Facebook, my Facebook biz page, my Twitter account, and Instagram. Then I have Instagram, which automatically connects to my Facebook and my Twitter and Foursquare, and they're not that important, Foursquare, Tumblr, whatever. So it's what you want to do is you want to create the right system that works for you depending on your business and who your target is. There are common sites. I mean, Hootsuite's really great for that. So is Instagram in some cases. Instagram's one main flaw is it doesn't attach to LinkedIn, which I think is an important place for small business to be. We're not sure how to best use our social media to promote our ready-mix concrete business. Well, first off, who's your customer? What do they want to know about? And then what you do is use social media to inform the customers and to give them tremendous value so they'll want to work with you and buy from you. So whether it's B2C or B2B, or whether you're trying to engage them, this could be YouTube, it could be LinkedIn, it could be Facebook. So it's just a question of knowing who they are. And you know what? Ask them. Spend some time asking them for feedback. I think that's a really good thing. I mean, here I am. You're giving me feedback with these questions. I'm going to answer them best I can. How does one get large formatted emails to one's client base? How to not be considered or get in trouble for spam? Okay, so if you have a lot of videos and pictures, I mean, you want to make sure that you lower the quality of the pictures so they're embedded, so they don't take too much space. And video, sending links is probably the best way to go to make that easier for people. How to not be considered or get in trouble for spamming while still sending out information. Well, I mean, if you use a legitimate mailer like Aweber, Infusionsoft, Constant Contact, those types of things, then you're not going to get in trouble because most people have opted in, and so you can't get in trouble. And in fact, if people, and you want people to unsubscribe if they don't want it, so by all means encourage people to do that. Hey, unsubscribe if you don't like this stuff. How does one decide where it is best to spend resources? So there's so many avenues. Well, again, it goes back to target. Who's your target? Where are they? Where do they spend their time? What do they want to hear? Based on that, you then use the right platform. How to keep email address on your list up to date? Again, using a service is really the way to go. There's so many. I just mentioned Aweber. I mean, there's MailChimp as well, which gives you up to 2,000 free addresses. So I would use those programs for sure. Are Twitter and Facebook dying out for business use? No, I don't think so. I mean, just like Facebook, Twitter, and they're huge companies, and they have millions and hundreds of millions of people. Is it not in their best interest to make sure they do a kick-ass job of innovating and addressing their users? Absolutely. I don't expect them to leave. I mean, some of them, even the ones that are technically losing a little bit of, losing a bit of their gusto or their popularity, like Vine or Pinterest, there's still millions and millions of people on there that are using it. So I wouldn't expect that to die anytime soon. It's here to stay. Just like email. Email's, when's email going to die? But email's been around forever. How many should we be on? Well, you know what? How badly do you want business? So, I mean, I understand a lot of people don't know much about social media, and that's why we're here. I mean, you can call us or contact CFIB for resources, but for the most part, I think, at least one, better three, integrate three, and if not, more than that, if you're really gung-ho, 5 or 6. Put a plan together. Invest in software like Buffer or Hootsuite to really create an integrative social media campaign where you're really out there. And it doesn't have to be crazy. You can even hire someone to do it for you. I mean, I have people who do some social media work for me as well. Let's see here. What will be the best application to use like Hootsuite? Hootsuite, Buffer, and TweetDeck are all really, really good. How to get around for paying ads but still be seen? Man, that's hard. If you build influence like I have with 350,000 followers, yes, okay, I'm going to be seen. If you share viral videos that people love, you'll be seen. But if you're small and starting out, first you want to spend time building up that following, which I have, but also you need to spend some money on ads. But what I would do with the ad thing is, look, let's not make a huge investment. You spend $100, see if you can make $150. You spend $500, see if you can make $700. Because even if you make $700, what kind of return on is that? That's 40%, 40% return. So start small and start building up, testing what you're doing, and then eventually you can put down a big chunk of $20,000, $30,000 and getting $50,000, $60,000 back in return. Okay, so I think looks like I covered all the questions. So that's about 10 minutes. Hope you enjoyed me sharing some of those thoughts and those insights about how to build social media, how to build thought leadership, how to leverage your brand and really build something huge for your small business. If and during the program, I offered a great deal for people in terms of getting involved with my group coaching programs and my networking and mastery programs. You can certainly be part of that as well. I'm already working with a bunch of businesses from CFIB, which is a lot of fun. And I hope to do more stuff with CFIB. If you want other content, like if you want me to share stuff on networking or share stuff on social media or more social media stuff or more specific stuff on small business strategy, how to target properly, how to really create transactions. These are all the things that I do. I'm really going to focus for small business. And let me throw one more thing too. My annual conference called Discover Your Personal Brand, DYPB, is actually going to be focusing this year on small business. In fact, one of our key sponsors that signed up with us is TELUS Small Business. And so a lot of our content on August 12th and 13th is going to be focused on small business. So I hope you join us there. Check that out at www.dypb.ca. And if you have any other questions, tweet me, text me, email me. I'm available, to a certain extent. I mean, I can't, answer calls every day, like if you have 10 questions. But I want to make myself accessible. So hope you found this useful. I hope if you want to rewatch the webinar, CFIB folks are going to post it up and you can watch it over and over again, which is great. And I look forward to working with you guys. I look forward to helping you guys. And small business, I'm a small business too. And I know that it's hard for us because there's just so much to do, so little time, so little money. But with the right targeting, the right testing, and understanding your business, what's the pain point, what's the bliss point, who your target is, how you serve them, and have a vision for that, you can really create emotional connection and really make an impact for your business and for your growth. So hope you find that useful. Wish you guys all the best. Talk to you soon. Take care.